Well, guys, it's cold, and today is Monday, November 13th, 2017 at 1:43 p.m., 13:43. I got the heat exchanger going, so we got heat coming in here. I got to thank John for that. I watched his video, called him up, gave me a few pointers. Bingo. I turned that on today and put some firewood in there, and now I got some nice heat coming out of here. I put a little whisper fan up here, a little computer whisper fan, just to kind of help move it around a little bit. Does a nice job. Does a real nice job. Meanwhile, we're still parsing around with this, trying to get things into an order to where I'm not going to have things in my way, but have everything I need when I need it. I hooked these lights up yesterday, but these lights were a pain in the ass to hook up. I never had so many problems hooking up lights before. Now these are just little 12-volt lights. They do have little wire though, right? Little wire. Little wire. Now I've hooked them up before a number of times because I got a lot of them and I use them. And never had a problem with them, but for some reason I was having issues. And I hook them up, I turn it on, one would sizzle, it would spark, it would shut off. I look at it, try to figure out, oh, okay, some of the insulation shorted out against, oh, okay, fix that. Over and over and over again. Finally today I said, you know what, I am just going to rip it all out and start over again. And that's what I had done. And then after I got all done with it, I hook up the wires on the back of the switch. I go to switch it on. It doesn't work. What happens? Well, when I was bolting the switch in, I knocked one of the wires off because it was too short. So I had to extend one of the wires. It was just a nightmare. It was almost like it wasn't meant for me to have these lights up here. So anyway, there they are. I'm using one of Vaughan switches and some Worbla. Worbla is a plastic that you can use. You can heat it up with a heat gun and form it and do whatever you want with it. A lot of people make costumes with it. Now the only thing I can see here is I may have a little issue because when I turn them on, as long as I'm down, they're not bad, but when I look up, they get kind of bright. But as a rule, you know, I'm usually looking forward or down. I'm not looking up, so they should be okay. But that's where we're at. So I got the 10 banger in there, and I think I showed you how I made it. I had enough room, luckily, to where it was 5 inches too long, and I had about 7 inches of bar with no plug on it, so I was able to slide it behind there, and it took it right to the end over there. So it gave me all the plugs that I want. And again, I don't know if I did this and posted it or not. If I did, I'm sorry. Because I'm posting it again. I hooked up this box with a switch. So everything that's plugged into this box works off a switch, including that. Because when I turn that off, that whole light bar goes off. The only thing that will stay on for a minute is the power supply. And you can see that draining as we go. Turn that back on. That whole bar lights up. The power supply comes back on. It's a 55 amp power supply. It is not a linear power supply. I may change that because I do want to buy, excuse me, a bigger one for over here. This is a 35 amp. Reality about 27. It says 35, but that's only a surge. So I'm thinking about going with maybe a 70 or maybe bigger. I don't know. I got to see what's out there and what's available. Because like I say, you can't go by what it's marked at. It's marked at a surge. That's not continuous. You want to go by what the continuous duty is. And on that one, it's about 27 amps. So it says 35, it's 27. So I can't run much more than that. You know, I mean, I'm pushing it. You know, like I said before, this radio, when I'm keying up with 100 watts, I'm pulling about 25 to 27 amps, give or take. And that is working that hard. So, I mean, if I really got long-winded, you know, and got into a long key down, I mean, I'm going to be working that. And that's if that's the only thing I have going at the time, because you got to remember, these are all on it, as well as the scanner and a few other things. So even though they're on it, they're only drawn, you know, half amp. They're not drawn a whole lot when they're in receive mode. When they're just on, when they're receiving, they draw a little bit more. It's when you key up is when they draw the most. But again, that's a little tight, so I may take that, put that over here, get that 55 linear out of there, and buy a new one for over there. Because the 55 I have under here, in my opinion, hey Tuck Tuck, is not as good as this 35 over here. So that's where I'm at. So meanwhile, we're putzing around. Today's Sunday, like I said, it's cold. We've got like it's a toss-up between rain and a freezing drizzle. You know, I mean, you feel it. So that's where we're at there. And that's about it. Boy, the day went by fast. Today's, like I say, Monday. The wife is home today. She goes back to work tomorrow. Excuse me, guys. And then tomorrow, I'm supposed to meet for coffee, but I hear that, well, they told me they're going to call me tomorrow to let me know what time they're coming down for the tractor. Now, if they come down here early enough, I can make my coffee run. Even if I'm a little late, you know, half hour or so, I'll just let them know, listen, guys, I'm running a half hour late. I mean, 'cause we're there until 12, 1 o'clock anyway, so, you know, a 3 or 4 hour coffee break, you know. Come on, you know, so half an hour is really not going to make much of a difference. But that's where I'm at, and that's what we're doing. You know, like I say, this bench isn't going to be just for any one thing. It's still going to be a workbench. I'm still going to come up here and be doing drilling on it. I'm still going to be doing hammering on it. However, it is there for me if I want to do any type of work on a radio or something like that.